Hello, we are students with the East Carolina University Master in Occupational Safety program. In this video, we'd like to talk to you about powered industrial truck safety. By the end of the video, you will know what makes powered industrial trucks more hazardous than cars, the factors that lead to tipping accidents, and what to do if your powered industrial truck starts to tip. Tipping accidents, in which the driver of a forklift is crushed between the forklift and the ground, commonly referred to as mousetrap incidents, are one of the biggest causes of workplace fatalities. Most victims suffer severe trauma to the head or chest, but some victims result in fatalities. Let's take a look at two case studies. At a lumber yard in New York in 2000, a 17-year-old laborer was killed when the forklift he was operating tipped over and crushed his head. The victim was asked to move the forklift from the area where the lumber is stored to the sawing area. On the way, a co-worker accepted a ride from the victim and rode on the right side of the forklift holding onto the overhead guard. After traveling roughly 135 feet, the victim took a sharp left turn, causing the forklift to overturn towards the right. The co-worker was able to jump from the forklift, but her ankle was pinned beneath the machine. She suffered minor injuries. The victim, however, was thrown from the seat and became pinned between the overhead guard and the ground. He was taken to the ER and pronounced dead. In another accident at a warehouse in Arizona, another 17-year-old laborer died when the forklift he was operating tipped over and crushed him. The victim had a load on the forks and was traveling with the mast fully extended. As the employee attempted to make a right turn, the victim lost control of the forklift and it overturned toward the left side. The victim, who was not restrained, was thrown from the vehicle and crushed underneath the extended mast of the forklift. 2 forks were needed to lift the overturned forklift off of the victim. He died of blunt force injuries to the neck and chest and traumatic asphyxia. These are just 2 examples of fatalities that resulted from powered industrial truck accidents. Before we get started on the hazards associated with powered industrial trucks, let's take a look at what they are. Under the OSHA standard, powered industrial trucks are mobile, power-propelled trucks used to carry, push, pull, lift, stack, or tier materials. They can be ridden or controlled by a walking operator. Earth-moving and over-the-road hauling trucks are not included. One of the things that gets people into trouble when working with powered industrial trucks is the idea that they are similar to the car they drove to work. Cars and powered industrial trucks are different in many ways. Powered industrial trucks are often heavier, have an open structure, utilize a 3-point suspension system, have a tighter turning radius, and are overall less stable. One of the key differences between cars and powered industrial trucks is the changing center of gravity. The center of gravity of an object is the average location of the weight of that object. The center of gravity helps keep you balanced so that you don't fall over. Surely you've seen these birds before. They can balance on the tip of your finger because the center of gravity is in its head. A powered industrial truck center of gravity changes when it carries a load. This is because the center of gravity of the truck and the load are combined to create a new combined center of gravity. Changes to this can be caused by many factors, including how high the load is raised, how heavy the load is, and the position of the load center of gravity in relation to that of the trucks. Most industrial trucks use counterweights in their rear that allow them to lift heavy loads while minimizing the changes to the center of gravity. This works like a seesaw, adding more weight to one side, which allows a heavier weight to be lifted on the other. Any modifications to increase counterweight should be approved by the manufacturer. Having your friend sit on the back of your forklift is not an approved counterweight. Another way powered industrial trucks differ from cars is their 3-point suspension system. This system forms the stability triangle. As long as the combined center of gravity of the truck and the load is kept within this triangle, the forklift is stable. But if the combined center of gravity goes outside the triangle, then the forklift will tip over. Since we live in a 3D world, we can actually think of the stability triangle as a 3-sided pyramid that has a ball on a string hanging down to represent where the center of gravity would be. Carrying loads higher moves the center of gravity higher up in the pyramid and decreases the size of the stability triangle. This makes it more difficult to stay inside the stability triangle. There are a number of factors that contribute to powered industrial truck tipping. Speed is one of them. Turning at a very high speed can cause the forklift to laterally roll onto its side. This is similar to the incident in the first case study. Stopping quickly when speeding can cause the center of gravity to shift towards the front, causing the powered industrial truck to tip over. Another factor that contributes to tipping is carrying loads improperly. Carrying loads too high can cause the industrial truck to tip, like in the second case study we talked about. Traveling with the load center of gravity too far forward on the truck's forks can cause the truck to tip because the combined center of gravity is outside of the stability triangle. The environment in which the powered industrial truck is being operated can also contribute to tipping. Never turn on an inclined surface. Always drive straight up and down inclines with the load facing uphill. Avoid rough terrain unless the forklift is designed to be driven on it. And if you need to cross railroad tracks, they should be crossed at a diagonal to minimize the impact to the truck. A truck that is in poor condition can contribute to tipping. Worn or flat tires can cause instability. Other damaged parts in the steering or suspension systems can lead to tipping as well. This is why it is important to inspect all aspects of the truck before you operate it each day. Damaged trucks should be removed from service and repaired as soon as possible. Each powered industrial truck comes with a data plate from the manufacturer. This plate tells you everything you need to know, including the truck model and serial number, truck weight, load capacities, and maximum height. You should never use a powered industrial truck without the data plate. The information on the plate will keep you from tipping. The best way to prevent injury during a tipping accident is to always wear your seatbelt. In this case, the seatbelt is not used so much to keep you from being thrown from the truck, but to prevent you from jumping out. Never attempt to jump from a tipping forklift. Remember that mouse trap? Brace yourself by planting your feet and holding tightly to the steering wheel. Always lean forward and away from the impact. In this video, we have covered what makes powered industrial trucks more hazardous than cars, the factors that contribute to tipping accidents, and what to do if your industrial truck starts to tip. If you have more questions regarding powered industrial trucks, reach out to your company's safety department. Be safe out there, and don't be a victim of the mousetrap.